Hello, my friends, and welcome to Youth Potential, a channel dedicated to helping young people with mental health problems. I have two books available, 102 Distraction Techniques and Self-Harm to Self-Harmony. Both of these books are only available on Amazon. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hello, my friend, Scott here representing Youth Potential. Thank you very much for voting on my latest video. You guys voted for getting help with interviews, applying for a job, that kind of thing, when you're someone who lives with mental illness. So I put some notes together, and it turns out I've got to do this video in 4 different parts, okay? Because basically I want to cover as much detail as possible, because getting a job is obviously a very big part of life. It's also a very anxiety-inducing task, and when you're someone who suffers with mental illness, you know, it's a really daunting thing. Even if you're someone who doesn't have mental illness, going for a job is scary at the end of the day. So, and I know what it's like when you have anxiety or depression. You know, you're either afraid of doing it, or you don't feel like you're good enough to go for that job. So I just want to go into as much detail as possible and just make you guys feel kind of like, give you the knowledge that you need to make this job application and get through the interview, etc., etc. And yeah, I just want to make you guys comfortable and knowledgeable, and just share as much advice as I possibly can. Before we start this video, just want to let you guys know I've been working in hospitality for 13 years now. It's 13 years, 2 days ago actually. I've worked my way up from like someone who just takes food out to tables, you know, to being a barman, being a chef, bar manager, kitchen manager, assistant restaurant manager, assistant hotel manager, and then obviously I had a relapse, and I just decided to take a step back to being a regular chef again. But with all that being said, I've still got the knowledge in my head. I've had many years of experience of interviewing people, training people and promoting people. So yeah, I've looked for a ton of CVs, and I've taken people on for different businesses, like opening up a new hotel, employing people into that, and just regular interviews for management positions and team member positions. So I feel like I've got a lot of knowledge that I can share, and yeah, that's what I'm doing this video, help you guys out. So anyway, so video number 1, this first video, is all about the application process, the actual the starting point. So right, you realise you need to get a job, or you need to move jobs essentially, but doesn't matter, it's all going to be exactly the same. So the first thing you want to make sure that you're doing is putting a CV together. Now, I've looked through many different CVs, and I personally think I've got a kick-ass CV as well. But what I'm going to suggest to you guys is to go online, type into Google, you know, how to make a good CV or something along those lines. Go through the websites. You'll kind of get a similar theme with each of them. They'll tell you to, you know, to structure it this way, to include these details and this information and that kind of stuff. And I would go with that, okay? If you want to make it look all fancy with different fonts and borders and that kind of stuff, you're more than welcome to. I would just say keep it clean and polished and minimal. Don't go over the top. Before, I've even printed mine onto like different coloured paper, just so that kind of the thinking there was that, you know, if it's in with all these other CVs, at least that coloured paper will stand out. I think if you're going for a job role that's sort of maybe more retail or hospitality, catering, that kind of thing, I think that's a good idea, because I think people are a lot more kind of laid back in that industry. But if you're going for a more officey, admin, more professional kind of role, in that sense, I would probably just stick to the white paper. That's just my personal belief. Yeah, so you're looking through the websites, you're going to get some ideas as to how to put your CV together. Just remember, the key thing when writing a CV is just to sell yourself as much as possible. You know, you're going to get an opportunity to write about yourself, past experience, school you've been going to, your grades, that kind of stuff, and your hobbies and interests as well. So if you haven't had job experience before, that's absolutely fine. there are plenty of companies obviously understand that not everyone has job experience. You know, you don't grow up, you don't get born into this world with a job. So don't worry about the fact that you've got no experience, okay? Don't let that put you off. Another thing that you're going to need to do as well as your CV is a cover letter. Again, go on the internet, have a look at the correct way to structure your cover letter. And it's as simple as that. I mean, usually a cover letter is just kind of a paragraph or two that just goes on the front of your CV. It just kind of straight to the point, really. Straight to the point, what you're looking for. And yeah. Now, one thing you don't need to do when writing your cover letter or your CV is to disclose any mental health problems you have. Okay? There is no legal obligation for you to do that. If you want to do that, that's fine. And it is discrimination to not take someone on because of their disability, their mental health, as well as other things that people can't control, such as age and race and colour, that kind of thing. But if you want my advice, I would not put it on there, okay? That's my advice, okay? So the next thing I think you should do is go to the businesses, the companies, the shops, the restaurants, the places that you wouldn't mind working at, the places that you'd like to work at, and go and hand in CVs there. Now, I know that sounds scary, a little out of your comfort zone, but you must remember by doing this, it puts you ahead of all the people that only make applications online. If someone comes in and hands in a CV and I speak to them, I get a chance to get that first impression out of the way. I can speak to them, I can see how they dress, how they present themselves, they're a little bit of personality, how they sound when they talk, and I pick up a kind of vibe about that person. Is either a good or a bad vibe. But when you apply for a job online, you don't have that ability to do that. You're literally data. That's the only information that the person the other end has to go on. So, dress to impress, okay? Ladies, put on a nice blouse or a suit, skirt and tights, that kind of thing. Do your hair, makeup, if you want to, of course. Guys, maybe put on a suit. Obviously, I've dressed up for this video to make that good impression. If you've got a beard, neaten it up a bit. I mean, I've tried to style that hair, but that's kind of gone down a bit. If you've just got stubble on your face, please shave it. If you've got a beard, style it. Do your hair, etc., etc. If you're going into this business, you are making that very first impression. They do not want to see a person applying to work in their company who smells, who doesn't look after their appearance, who doesn't sound enthusiastic. It takes 4 seconds for someone to make a first impression of you, okay? And you need to make that impression last. You walk in there with your head held high, a smile on your face, shaking hands, dressed to impress, that's going to make a brilliant first impression. Definitely makes a great impression with me. There's nothing I appreciate more than people handing their CV, looking good, sounding positive and enthusiastic. And that's exactly what you've got to do. When you walk in, ask to speak to the manager. Now, I know that sounds scary, but trust me, if someone asks to speak to the manager, the first thing most people think is, oh shit, this guy's going to make a complaint about us. So they'll be on their guard, but really, you're just applying for a job. So yeah, ask for the manager, say, hi, I'm such and such, nice to meet you. Handshake's always good. You can tell a lot about a person in a handshake, a nice firm handshake. And just say, look, I'm looking for a job. I'd really like to work in this. I'd really like to work here. It's a place that I shop at, or a place that I eat at, or it's an industry I want to get into. Just to make something up at the end of the day. I was just wondering if you have any jobs available. They may say yes. Give me a CV, apply online, or they may say no, but I will take your CV for when an opportunity comes up. Okay? Hand over your CV, thank them very much for your time, and just walk away, and that's it. Make that goodbye a lasting impression as well. Okay? Again, handshake, thank you very much. Just give off those positive vibes. I know you're probably shit scared. I get fucking nervous handing in CVs to places or going to interviews, anything like that, okay? It is scary, it's just human nature, but You've got to push yourself out of your comfort zone, because if you don't, you're never going to get a chance, okay? You only get to make that one first impression. So, you've spoken to the manager, you've handed in your CV, and they've told you that there are positions available. Also, obviously, if you've seen online that there are positions available and you've decided to go in there in person, you don't need to ask, are there jobs available? Just say, like, I've seen there's an advert for this position. So you've handed your CV in, you made a good first impression, and, well, okay, you go away now. Rather than waiting to hear from them, in that time, I honestly suggest that you go around and keep doing this, loads of different places that you'd like to work at. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. You've got to just keep applying to different places. I mean, out of, I don't know, say like 10 businesses, you may only hear back from 2 of them. So you just got to keep on going. Don't wait for that first business that you that handed a CV for them to call you back. One thing you must absolutely do is have your phone on you at all times. Try and keep the volume up or the vibration on. Check your emails, because if you get a call from this business and you do not pick up and you don't have voicemail on, the chances are they will not call you back. Okay, I know this. I've called up people who've applied to work for me, and most of the time, if they don't pick up, I don't bother calling them again. I know that sounds really lazy, and like I might be missing on an opportunity there, but that's just how it is. You know, if I've got 50 CVs to go through, I don't want to keep chasing people up. The way I see it is, if they want to work for me, they've got to show that they're keen, that they're capable, that they want this job. Okay, and that's what you've got to show. They may leave a voicemail and a number, and that's great. Call it back. If you look at your phone and you've got a missed call with a telephone number attached to it, call it back straight away and just say, look, my name's such and such. I got a missed call from this number. Who may I ask was speaking? It may be the manager, and they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, we're really interested in you. Looked for your CV, we'd like you to come along for an interview. Okay? Yeah. Check your junk, in your junk mail in your inbox as well. So the last thing I need to say in this video is that if you do get a call or an email from the manager or the recruiter or HR, the person who's wants to contact you to get you to work for them, if they call, don't ring up and be like, hello. Just be like, if it's an unknown number, just think that could be the manager, that could be that person who wants me to work for them, who wants an interview. Just say, hello there, Scott speaking. It's a really good first impression. The amount of people I've called up and been like, hello, who is it? And I just think, sometimes I've just put the phone straight down. Just can't be asked for that. I just think, not going to even answer the phone. You've got a good telephone manner. How are you going to be with customers? So yeah. And if you get an email, what I would do is respond to it, read it over and over again. Just sound enthusiastic. That's the real key, is sound enthusiastic. Before you send the email, read it out loud, get someone else to read it, and then when you're fully happy with it, send that email back. Obviously, when you get the call or the email, make sure that you get the details from, for where you're going to be going for the interview, who's going to be interviewing you, obviously the time and the date. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about interview preparation. Okay, anyway, all the best. See you in a bit.